right, you know what time it is. Live from the Bare Muscle Garage, it's time for Fit Crew. What do we got in store for you today? Let's go ahead and share this on screen. So today we've got a 5-rounder for you here. We're going to be doing 5 rounds of 10 toes to bar, 10 single dumbbell thrusters, and a 200-meter run. And we may be looking at this thinking, I don't have the space to run outside. I don't have a pull-up bar. Don't worry, guys. As always, we're going to warm up really well. And we're going to go through all the options that will allow you to do this workout or your version of it right where you are, using what you have and doing what you can. But let's go ahead and start this general warm-up, which is going to activate the muscles that we're going to be using in today's workout. And the first move we're going to do is the pigeon. And let's go ahead and have Iron Man Dean demonstrate the pigeon for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the pigeon is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's sink into the pigeon on this side. So on the pigeon, we are laying face down. We've got the one leg up and across the chest, other leg back, and we are sinking into this pose here, which opens up the hips and helps us to improve our squat positioning. And let's go ahead and switch legs here. So we're going to get the other leg up and across the chest, other leg back. And the pigeon is one of the most important activations that we do. It relieves issues that might be going on with the IT band. And as previously mentioned, it improves our squat positioning. We always talk about chest up, shoulders back, knees out to the side. And that is actively what we are improving here in the pigeon. Next, we're going to get those arms out in front of us, legs back, and we're going to hit some Supermans. Let's have Dean demonstrate 2 Supermans for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the Superman is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 Supermans together. So on these Supermans, we are laying face down. We've got those arms out in front of us, legs back. And we're going to take a deep breath in and raise those arms and those legs. Hold the top there for about 2 seconds before coming back down, dialing in that arch position. So good job here on these Supermans. Next, we're going to roll over and hit some glute bridges. Let's go ahead and have Dean demonstrate 2 glute bridges for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the glute bridges are going to be reverse chest flies like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 glute bridges together. So on these glute bridges, we are laying on our back. We've got those feet pulled in close to the hips, and we're going to squeeze those glutes and get the hips nice and high. We want to think fast up, hold the top, slow on the way back down. And so good job here on these glute bridges. Next, we've got some V-ups. Let's go ahead and have Dean demonstrate 2 V-ups for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the V-up is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 V-ups together. Now, it could be that this is a really hard movement on the core and possibly even on the back for us. So we have a couple options here. We can do some single leg raises. Let's have Betty Boop demonstrate here. So we're going to be laying on our back. We're going to raise one leg at a time. So no arms just yet, just raising the one leg. And we're going to go all the way up to about 90 and then back down. We're going to do 5 on one side and then 5 on the other side. Or it could be that perhaps we can reach for the leg, but perhaps we just need to do one at a time. Let's have Dean demonstrate some single leg V-ups. So we're going to get our arms behind us, and we're going to reach for one leg, alternating legs each time, which takes a little bit of stress off the low back for some of us. But if we're doing the V-up as prescribed, so that's both legs, taking a deep breath in, and we're reaching toward those toes. Let's have Dean demonstrate a couple more double leg V-ups here, reaching for both toes at the same time, and we want to meet them at the top. So good job on these V-ups. Next, we're gonna get up, stand up, and we're gonna do some air squats. And let's go ahead and have Iron Man Dean demonstrate 2 air squats for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the air squat is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 air squats together. So on these air squats, we're going to stand with the feet shoulder width apart, and we're going to initiate by getting those hips back and down as if we're sitting in a chair, pushing the knees out to the side throughout the movement until we get all the way down, hips below the knees, keeping the heels on the ground. And then we're going to drive through those heels until we get all the way back up to a fully standing position. Now, it could be that we need to squat with some assistance. Let's have Betty Boop demonstrate here. We can sit and stand to a chair or to a footstool or to a medicine ball. The longer we do this program, and especially the more flexi time we do, the lower and lower we can squat until we can squat eventually without assistance. So good job here on these air squats. Next, we're going to do some high knees with a hip circle. And those high knees with a hip circle are going to look like this. Or if we're doing this from the seated position, then we're going to do a forward arm raise with a lateral return like this. So let's everyone join in here and let's do 10 high knees with a hip circle on each side. Now, it could be that balance is a challenge for us, in which case we've got some options here. We can hold on to a close by object, such as a sturdy piece of furniture or a counter or even a wall, and then we're going to go up and around like this. But if we are doing the hip circle as prescribed, we are going to get that knee up and circle all the way around, which is especially important to open up those hips for all the running that we're going to be doing today, potentially some high knees. And so good job here on these high knee hip circles. Next, we've got some reverse lunges. Let's go ahead and have Iron Man Dean demonstrate 2 reverse lunges for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the reverse lunge is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 reverse lunges together. Now, it could be that getting that back knee to the ground is a bit of a challenge for us, in which case we have some options here. We can do an assisted lunge, holding on to a close by piece of furniture or a wall or whatever the case. And let's have Betty Boop demonstrate here. And so we're going to use as much as needed that close by sturdy object for assistance. But even with that, it could be that getting that knee to the ground is a bit of a challenge, in which case we could do some low step ups. We can use a step stool or a step ladder or even some stairs if that's a practical option for us. And we could just do these step ups here, or actually step downs, to more accurately recreate the feel of the reverse lunge. But if we're doing the lunge as prescribed, we're taking that big step back. We're getting that knee all the way to the ground, and we're coming back up. If we're not getting the knee to the ground, then let's definitely use assistance or modify as needed. So good job on these lunges. And finally, we're going to grab a nice light weight, 10 pounds or less, 5 kilos or less, a dumbbell if we have one. If we don't have a light dumbbell, then any other light common household object will do. It could be a shoe, it could be a teddy bear, it could be a bottle, it could be a pillow, but it's got to be super light. So with this light object in hand, we're going to do some strict press. And let's go ahead and have Betty Boop demonstrate 2 reps of the strict press for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then that strict press is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in, and let's do 10 strict press together, 5 on each side. So on this strict press, we've got that dumbbell starting on the shoulder, and we've got the elbow pointing forward. And we're going to press that arm up and back, getting the bicep into the ear at the top of the motion. And then we're going to keep that elbow pointing forward on the way back down as well. And so good job here on the strict press. Well, that is it for the activation phase. Now we're going to move on to the movement prep, which is where we're going to practice specifically the 3 moves that we are doing in today's workout. The first move is toes to bar, which involves a pull-up bar, and the toe to bar is going to look like this. So as we can see, this is a very high skill movement, and a lot of us don't have a pull-up bar. And so we're actually going to do a modification for this, which also serves as a good progression, whether we have a pull-up bar or not. We're going to do some toe to broom from the ground here. And let's go ahead and have Ironman Dean demonstrate 2 reps of the toe to broom for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the toe to broom is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in, and let's do 10 reps of the toe to broom together. Now, it could be that just like the V-up, doing this with both legs is very challenging, in which case we have some options. We can do the single leg toe to broom. Let's have Ironman Dean demonstrate a couple reps here. And so that's going to be alternating legs, and we are reaching to touch those toes, or at least the ankles, alternating legs each time. Or if even this is challenging or we're not reaching those ankles, we can do those single leg raises. And let's have Ironman Dean remind us what that looks like. So that's no arms involved. We're just raising one leg at a time, doing 5 reps on the same leg before switching and then doing 5 reps on the other leg. But reminder, if we're doing the toe to broom as prescribed, that is with that broomstick in hand, and let's have Ironman Dean show us a couple more reps there. And we are taking a deep breath in to brace that core before reaching for both legs, specifically the toes or the ankles. And this can be a very challenging core movement for many of us, keeping that legs as straight as possible. So let's definitely modify as needed. But good job here on these toe to broom, whichever version is good for us. And then if we do happen to have a pull-up bar, what I'd like us to do is to hop on that bar and do some hanging knee raises, and then followed by some hanging straight leg raises as much as our circumstances allow, progressively working on getting those toes closer to the bar. The second move that we are doing in today's workout is the single dumbbell thruster. So let's grab that super lightweight, 10 pounds or less, 5 kilos or less, and let's look on as Ironman Dean demonstrates 3 reps of the thruster on the same arm. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the thruster is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in here and let's do 10 reps of the thruster, 5 on each side. Now, it could be that we were doing some assisted squats in the warm up earlier, in which case we can continue to use that assistance. We could do some assisted thrusters. Let's have Betty Boop demonstrate here. We'll get that dumbbell on the shoulder, and then we can sit, stand, and then press that out overhead, getting that arm into the ear at the top of the motion. But if we are doing the thruster as prescribed, we've got that weight starting on the shoulder, and we are going to descend into a full squat, getting the hips below the knees, standing, pressing that arm out, getting that bicep into the ear at the top of the motion. And so good job here on the thruster, whichever version is better for us. And then the third and final move that we're using in today's workout is the run. And if you happen to have space to run outside, I'd like you to hit about a 30-second run in one direction just to see how far that is, and then turn around, come back. That's going to be a good amount of distance to scale to for today's workout. But most of us are going to be running inside using the space we have, doing what we can. We're going to do 10 shuttle runs to replace the 200-meter run. And we can either do a 50-foot run, shuttle run, which is running 25 feet down and back. And let's have Dean demonstrate one of those. So he's going to run down, and then without tapping the ground, he's going to run back. Boom, that was one shuttle run. Or it could be that we need to do our shuttle runs in place because we just don't have that space. And let's have Dean demonstrate one set of high knees in place, pumping those knees, pumping those elbows. And after the set of 20 high knees, without tapping the ground, we can either change direction or use the finger counting method. And that is one way to keep track of the shuttle runs that we do in place. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then each shuttle run is going to equal 20 arm raises like this. And then after that set of 20, without tapping the ground, we're going to either clap those hands or use the finger counting method. And that is going to be how we count these shuttle runs for today. So let's everyone join in and let's do 5 sets of shuttle runs. And on these shuttle runs, if we have a 25-foot span of space that we can run down and back, or 7.5 meters if that's what you prefer, then let's use that space if at all possible. But if we don't have that space, or if we're trying to manage our impact, then like Betty Boop, we can do the shuttle runs in place. And notice how she's actually doing shuffle steps. Every 20 steps counts as a shuttle run. And we can get fancy with it, turn it into a bit of a salsa class if we want, changing direction after each set of 20. So good job on these shuttle runs. Well, now it's ramp up time. If you've been earning badges and you'd like to add some weight to do either the scaled, intermediate, or RX weight in today's workout, then let's start to gradually add some weight, doing about 3 to 5 practice reps of the thruster on each arm, adding a little bit of weight each time until we get to the weight that we want to use for today's workout. But if we have not been earning badges, or we're just getting back into this after a long time off, then please, let's not add any weight. That super light weight that we were just using in the warm-up is going to be more than enough for us today. It's very important that we have the right consistency and the right form before we've earned the right to add or reintroduce intensity, such as by adding weight or going fast. But whether we're adding weight or not, let's pay close attention to the following checklist. Number 1, please make sure your device is fully charged or plugged in so we can get through this whole workout without losing you. Number 2, let's grab some water. Let's take a sip. And let's make sure we got our water nearby so we can take a sip as needed all throughout the workout. Number 3, I'm going to give everyone a 3, 2, 1, go countdown. And that's how you can synchronize your timer with mine if you choose to use one. Number 4, music. Super important. We want at least 4 to 5 jams that are going to keep us motivated and pumped as we get through all 5 rounds today. So, what's on your playlist? You can blast your music as loud as you want, as long as you can still hear me helping you throughout the workout. And lastly, how are we keeping track of these rounds? This is a 5-round workout. It's easy to lose track of where we are, which round we're on, what's coming up next. So experience has shown that having the workout written down close by is the best way to keep track of things. So if you came prepared, let's go ahead and see that whiteboard or digital, however you came prepared, and we're going to take this teacher's pet picture. So here we go. Teacher's pet picture in 3, 2, 1. Awesome. I'm going to bring the workout back on screen one more time, and then we'll get going. So in just about a minute, we're going to start this timer, and we're about to do this 5-round workout, which is 10 toes to bar, 10 single dumbbell thrusters total, 5 on each arm, and then 200-meter run. Now, most of us for the toe to bar, we're going to be doing the toe to broom off the ground, whether we're doing the double leg, maybe we're doing the single leg, or maybe we're doing those single leg raises, taking the arms completely out of the equation. Either way, we're doing 10 total reps, irrespective of if we're doing double leg or single leg. If we do have a pull-up bar and we're working on our toe to bar, then sure, we can do some hanging knee raises or leg raises. On the thrusters, we are not adding weight unless we've been earning badges. Very important that we have the right form and consistency before we add intensity. So let's keep that weight light, or if we are adding some weight, let's at least make sure it's a weight that we can hit a good 5 in a row before having to take a break. We actually should be looking to get these done pretty much unbroken without taking a break in each set. For the 200-meter run, most of us are going to be doing the 10 sets of shuttle runs to equate the 200-meter run for today's workout. And that's going to be 10 sets of shuttle runs each round, whether we're running the 25 feet down and back each one, or whether we're doing the 20 high knees for whatever version is better for us to manage our impact. If we do have the space to run outside, then we're looking for these runs to take less than a minute. And so that test that we did at the start, the 30-second with the turnaround and come back, if that's less than 200 meters, let's use that distance for today's workout. And that'll be a good distance to scale to. So your score is going to be the time it takes to get through these 5 rounds of 10 toes to broom, 10 single dumbbell thrusters, 5 on each arm, and 10 sets of shuttle runs. If you are good to go, give me a thumbs up over here and we'll get this started. I'm going to give us a 10-second countdown. And then I'm going to highlight Ironman Dean to get us going. So here we go, guys. 10 toe to broom, 10 single dumbbell thrusters, 10 shuttle runs. How long is it going to be? Let's find out. Starting in 10 seconds. Let's get ready. 3, 2, 1, go. And we are off on these toe to broom, reaching for both toes or at least both ankles. If not, then we can definitely modify to the single leg. And we could also see how we're doing throughout the workout and modify as needed. And we got Mighty Mouse doing most of these workouts completely from the standing position nowadays. So awesome work there, Mighty Mouse. After these 10, we are moving on to the 10 thrusters, all the way down, all the way up, pressing that back. We got the 5 on one side, 5 on the other side. Deep breath in, bracing that core, getting as low as we can each time. Using as much assistance as needed. And then after these 10, we are going to take off on that run, the 10 sets of shuttle runs. And notice, once again, we are not tapping the ground on the shuttle runs today. Those who've been doing this program for a while, we know sometimes we tap the ground on the shuttle runs, but whenever we're replacing a 200-meter run or a long distance run, we actually do not tap the ground in order to really recreate the feel of running that long distance without the extra hinging. But we are either hitting these 50-foot shuttle runs down and back, or we are hitting these shuffle steps. And we've got Mighty Mouse as well, hitting the standing version of all of these moves. But nice work here, guys. All the way down, all the way back. And we are just about closing out the first of 5 rounds. Breathing hard, pushing hard, doing what we gotta do. And there goes Betty Boop, diving right into this second round. Ironman Dean as well, coming back from the run, getting into this second round. Mighty Mouse, diving right into it. And that is the beauty of this program. That is scaling and modifying. We all come in here with different sets of circumstances and abilities, but we are all picking the version of this that's best for us, using what we have, doing what we can, getting in this fitness. Picking up that dumbbell for this second round of thrusters, getting low on that squat. Standing, pressing that out overhead. Good, nice work here. Let's go. Nothing to it but to do it. And we are on track to finish within today's target window. The target window is nothing more than the best way to know if we've picked the right weights and the right movement options for us. And the way the target window works, we all have different capacities, but we want to pick the weight and do the movements that allow us to finish within the target window of time. That's how we know we got an appropriate level of challenge for ourselves. Not too much over, not too much under, but in the sweet spot of that target window. But we are breathing through this here, running down, running back. And those of us Fit Crew veterans know that, yeah, this is a 5-round workout. We're still early into it. So we definitely want to pace ourselves accordingly. And let's do our thing. Breathing deep. Getting through these runs, closing out round 2. And there goes Betty Boop, right on cue. Finishing off round 2. Quick sip, right back into action. Ironman Dean as well. Dropping right into round 3. And there goes Mighty Mouse as well. So love the fact that everyone is moving very close together here, having picked the right weights, right challenging options for your circumstances. And that is definitely going to always be the goal. Look to your left, look to your right, everyone making the right choices, moving together. Finishing off this 3rd round of Total Broom, moving on to some thrusters here. Getting low, pressing that out. Let's get super low as we can go every time. And the breathing on the thruster is super important. We want to take a deep breath in on the way down, out as we push. In on the way down, out as we push. That's going to help us to hit big sets without tiring out too much. Well, let's breathe through it. Let's do it. On this 3rd round run, everyone moving together. Some running the distance. Some hitting the in place. Whatever the case, everyone doing exactly what they need to do, exactly on track to hit today's window. And something else us Fit Crew veterans know, in a 5-round workout like this, we know we need to behave ourselves in the first few rounds. We don't want to hit that wall. And so that is pacing. Everyone so far pacing this beautifully. Hitting very similar split times for all these 3 rounds here. But nice work. Let's go. Let's go. Betty Boop just finishing off round 3. Quick sip. We've got Mighty Mouse starting this round 4. Iron Man Dean just about closing out this round 3, about to dive into round 4. Now, round 4 in a 5-round workout is definitely what I consider to be the most important round. We are deep into it. We're starting to feel tired, but we're not quite done. We're almost there. So we've been pacing ourselves. We stay the course. We are breathing deep, doing our thing. Staying on track. Finishing off the round 4 toe to broom, onto the round 4 thrusters. Let's get deep in these squats. Deep breath in on the way down. Breathe out as we push. Hitting nice, consistent, solid sets. There goes Mighty Mouse setting off on the round 4 run. Betty Boop joining in on this run. So let's get low. Let's press this out, and then let's set off on this run here. This round 4 run should be very motivating because then we will be entering the last round, fast round. So let's stay on our game. Mentally, let's stay focused here. Doing our thing, getting through these runs, breathing through it. There goes Mighty Mouse finishing off round 4. About to get into this last round, fast round. Betty Boop dropping right into the toe to broom of this last round. Iron Man Dean just a couple runs to go before getting into this last round. This is where we dig deep. We've been pacing, now we're racing. Let's push, let's go, let's stay motivated. Staying on our game. Deep breath in. Pushing through it. After these toe to broom, about to hit these thrusters here. Mighty Mouse deep into the thrusters. Betty Boop starting on these thrusters. Let's get low. Stand. Press that out. Mighty Mouse done with the thrusters on this last set of runs here. Dean on this last set of thrusters. Betty Boop almost done. about to join on that run. So let's do this thing, Mighty Mouse. Moving along with Iron Man Dean setting out on this run as well. This is where we sprint. Everyone has a chance to finish right under that target window time. Let's stay with it. Let's stay motivated. And there goes Mighty Mouse across the finish line. Betty Boop almost there. Iron Man Dean sprinting it out. And we are here to cheer on our family. Let's do this thing. Sprinting it out. And Betty Boop across the finish line. And Iron Man Dean, just a couple runs to go. Almost there, almost there. And there goes Dean in the nick of time across the finish line. All right, now we are at the best part of the workout, which is the cool down stretch. And this stretch is super important to help us fight soreness, increase flexibility, so we can come back day after day, staying consistent and committed. So the first stretch we're going to do is the saddle eat stretch. That's going to be where we're in a kneeling position and we're going to sit back toward those heels. Hey, if this is all we got, that's cool. But if we can sit back on those heels, great. And then the eagle is going to be one elbow over the other like this. And while we're doing this, let's reflect on the workout. Let's do some high-low buffalo. So, high. What is one thing you feel you did well in the workout today? Low. What is something you want to do better the next time it shows up? And buffalo. What is something that surprised you about the workout today? While we're thinking about that, let's switch to the other side of this eagle here. And while we're here, let's hear from Iron Man Dean. And if we're doing this from a seated position, we're doing just the eagle part of the stretch like this. But what is your high-low buffalo, Dean?
The high was the workout. I enjoyed that today. The low, I don't know, it's probably the running. I don't do much running, so something to work on. And the buffalo was, I enjoyed like it was a lot of running, but it went quickly, thankfully. So I'm quite surprised at that.
That is usually a plus, right? So good job there, Dean. Let's go ahead and switch to the pigeon. We've got the one leg up across the chest, other leg back, and we are sinking into this like this. And while we're doing this, let's hear from Betty Boop. And if we're doing this from the seated position, we're gonna get the one arm up and pull across like this. But what is your high-low buffalo, Betty Boop?
Oh, so my high was that I got through it. That was intense. My low were the totem broom. It's I keep trying to make it look like both sides of a V, but one side, the top side is not quite up there. I can reach the toes, but it just doesn't exactly look like a V. My buffalo, I think was a sweat. I just didn't think I was going to sweat this much today, but I did. And thank you, Coach. It was a good.
Your sweat is definitely a compliment to me because you put in that work. And it's always good to notice areas that we want to improve. And yes, that core strength definitely does contribute to um, a better shaped V up or Totem Broom. And the more we develop the upper core, especially, perhaps doing some extra straight leg sit ups, or perhaps even doing the sit up GWOD a little bit more often, that's definitely going to help with that as well. So good job, Betty Boop. And let's go ahead and hit pigeon on the other side. We've got the other leg up and across the chest, other leg back like this. And while we're on this side, let's hear from Mighty Mouse. If we're doing this from the seated position, we're getting the other elbow up, pulling to the side like this. But what is your high-low buffalo, Mighty Mouse?
Uh, my high was doing the step the doing the thrusters from the seated position. The low, I really didn't have a low, but the buffalo is just how I had to pace myself when it came from doing the sit to stand. And then it was time to do the runs. It kind of took my breath away. So I had to really pace myself and transition to, between those two moves.
You are not wrong. Thrusters into pretty much anything is a very taxing combination, but you handled it like a pro, coming in first today. And so, not too much to complain about, right? Good job, Mighty Mouse. Well, that's our WOD, that's our stretch, that's our high-low buffalo. You know what's left. This sweaty selfie, because does this count if we don't take that selfie? Let's flex on the camera here, and let's take this selfie. Sweaty selfie in 3, 2, 1. And crazy face. And let's put the fists in the middle for the cheer. On 3, 2 claps. Fit crew. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Big crow!
Crew. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed this program, then please give this channel a subscribe, a like, and a share. Thank you very much, and see you next time.